Kaspa has just hit another milestone and price is pumping, so we have a lot to discuss in today's video. Hey guys, Foxy's Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we are back talking about Kaspa. Now we will be looking at market structure and the little pump that it has got later on in the video, but for now let's talk about two very important things. The first one, as we have been talking about week through week, is the public nodes, right? I remember my first ever video on Kaspa. I think they were around 340, and I kept saying it is going to be growing and the project will be growing. And look at us now. We are almost at 1,000. Their goal was to hit 1,000 public nodes by the end of the year, and we are almost there. We are at 912. From what I remember, my last video, I think we were at 600 or 700. So can you just see the growth every week that it's having? And I know right away people are going to be saying, oh, but there's no real world utility yet and all this and all this. Just wait. Have a look at what ISO is doing and in what that sector is doing, right? ISO has came out. It has become the new standard for bank messaging, and it has brought all these crypto tokens for ISO, and they are getting real world utility. So who's to say something like that is not in the works for Kaspa, okay? I think this is good. I think continuously growing is something we want to see from every single project, and it is something fantastic. Now, the next thing is going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to have to break this down step by step. But this person on Twitter said Kaspa is about to go supersonic. vProgs just broke the meta. They talk about a lot of things. Kaspa says vProgs are layer 1 logic, means synchronous composability and unified liquidity without rollup. I don't know why they said spaghetti, but sure. Pure cash fee market, no tourist. They are still kind of joking around on their Twitter. They have posted a lot of things today, replying to people, you know, bad messages, good messages, troll messages. I don't know what the moderator for Twitter is really up to right now, but he does not care, or she does not care. So let's break this down, because I actually think this is pretty important, and I think everybody needs to know about this a little bit. So layer 1 logic, right? The first thing that they talk about. This means that the vProgs run directly on Kaspa's base chain. It's not a separate layer like Base or Arbitrum. So to put it simply, Kaspa does smart logic natively, the same way Bitcoin does transactions natively. And this is important because there's no extra layers, there's no bridges, there's no complex infrastructure. Everything is secured by Kaspa itself. Now, the next thing is the synchronous composability, right? On many chains like Ethereum or Solana, there's different apps or rollups that can't talk to each other instantly, right? So they need delays, bridges, right, to do that. Now, synchronous composability, to put it very simply, is instant communication, right? Instant communication across the entire ecosystem. That's how you want to think of it. So every app and contract on Kaspa can talk to each other in real time in the same block. Okay, so like we said, faster, there's no waits, there's no time delays. This is something not every single crypto project has, and this is why the tech for Kaspa is so strong, right? Then they talk about unified liquidity. And the way I would put this is that on Ethereum, liquidity is split across layer 2s and rollups. And for Kaspa, all Kaspa apps and features share one giant liquidity pool because everything happens on the same layer, okay? And this is important because the DeFi will get deeper. There will be less slippage. There will be more user activity in a single place, okay? Now, the without rollup spaghetti thing, I'm not too sure if spaghetti was a mistype or if this is some hidden message that I don't really understand. So I don't really understand what they are saying here. I wish they gave us a different terminology. But yeah, this is basically the breakdown of what this meant and just talking about Kaspa's tech a little bit, breaking down these more complicated words maybe we haven't heard of, because I definitely didn't, and I had to do some research before making this video for you guys. But the way I see it is, when I see things for a project that I am invested in and I don't understand, I want to know what they are, and hopefully you guys do also. And that's why I do these videos for you guys, especially when they tweet these things, so everybody can have the best knowledge that they are capable of understanding for Kaspa. So now let's look at market structure. And there's one thing I want you guys to see right away, and it probably stands out, is the volume, right? Volume is very important. And this is not just a small spike. This is a massive spike. And it is reflected on the charts. We can see we have been pumping. We'll go over that in very, very shortly, right? We are up in price, up in market cap, 89% bullish. If I might be mistaken, but I think we went up in community sentiment, which is fantastic. Let's get to 90%. It's going to look so much better. Still waiting on that Binance listing. So let's have a look at Kaspa, right? What did I draw out? What are all these drawings on the charts? Well, there is a few of them, right? So we have our first weekly fair value gap that we closed below, right? And then we closed right here and we pushed to the downside. Now, I was very, very much so expecting price to be swept and go into this zone, right? We did not do that, which is very interesting. Instead, we took out this liquidity right over here, right? Right here, you can see that, but we did not go further down. Now, the reason I say this is interesting is because this liquidity is not super insanely strong. It is strong, but this liquidity pool below it is a stronger liquidity pool. I would suspect that there is more money orders and buy limits here, and usually price likes to target liquidity. Now, that doesn't mean that it is an end-all be-all kind of thing. Price many times also will take off, I should say, without sweeping liquidity. And that's kind of what it did here, right? So you can see in the last couple of days, we have been pumping very, very nicely. So we have been on the daily time frame. We have been trending down, right? So we had our high, we had our lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, right? Everybody can see that we were still trending down on the daily. Now, what is happening right now is very, very good. I love when this happens, right? We are getting engulfing candles. These are candles that take out all of this price, right? And it shows that buyers are in position, right? They are controlling the market right now. Look how many days we have been trending down, but the momentum and the pressure was not strong, right? So many, many days, pretty much an entire week of small selling pressure. But now we have 3 days of even stronger buying pressure. And what have we done? We are going to form a higher high eventually above here and above here, right? So that is the start of a bullish trend. Now, we are not 100% bullish just yet, right? A lot of the times we'll make one higher high and then we will push to the downside. And people get faked out by this all the time. Okay, so we have to look for a little bit more of confirmation. And for me, that confirmation would be a high above here. The only problem is a high above that area. Let me keep it drawn out for everybody. So it's on the chart. A high above that area, right, is in line with this weekly fair value gap. And we know that this fair value gap, this is imbalance in price, this is zone, think of it, is strong, right? We can see it has tested it many, many weeks and it respected it before finally breaking below and giving us a little push to the downside. So this is going to be a zone that is critical for Kaspa to break through, and a break above it will push us to the upside, right? That's usually how it goes. When things get inverted, we have a strong momentum to the opposite side of that inversion. So we need to see if Kaspa is going to be able to do that. If we do form a higher high from this area and we really don't test this entire zone much and we just break right through, we can expect a lot more of a push on Kaspa. And I have been saying every week, every single video, guys, buy up these lows, right? Kaspa is a strong project. The tech is so strong. I think Kaspa is going to do great things in the future. So if you haven't bought up yet, and if you have not scaled in, I think this is a great time to do so. The entire market is giving us these discounts, right? Everybody wants these prices, but then they're afraid to pull the trigger when we get it. And I get it. It's hard. You're scared. You're risking your hard-earned money. But if you believe in Kaspa, you believe in the project, that's what you want to do. Now, another very interesting thing is, right, we have this weekly high right over here. Now we are on the weekly time frame, right? So if everything goes aligned and we do get a closure above this, there's all these confirmations that we are going to push even further up. And where can we be headed after this push? What would make sense to me is price would most likely want to target this area, right? This area of liquidity. And then after that, this high and this high will be very interesting to the market. You'll see how price wants to get to these areas before maybe correcting itself a little and then possibly pushing even further up, right? Now, obviously, there's going to be some bumps and roads that we're going to have to break through and zones that we're going to see on the daily time frame, right? There's going to be many of them. What can I see right away? Right away, right? This will be a zone that we're going to have to test and see because we have tested it before giving us a massive push to the downside. So that can be a strong zone that we have to look out for. So it's not going to be just purely straight up from here. We have to adapt to the market and we have to see what it gives us. But you have sort of a outlook now, a game plan of how price could react to the market, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. I remember Foxy telling me that if these things happen, we can start going up, right? So we're going to have to see what we get. I hope we start getting some bullish price action even more but to the end of the year, and especially in 2026 if altcoin season happens, and I really do think it will, right? I am very, very hopeful that 2026 is going to be the year of altcoin season. And let me tell you, when altcoin season comes, this is where we're going to be looking at, right? We're all going to be remembering the good old days when Kaspa was at 0.05. Oh, what a fun time that was. And now we're getting at 20 cents, right? Just wait and see. A lot of people are going to call me crazy. That's okay. The gains will be on the table. We will be laughing. Maybe there will be some real world utility, some partnerships. Let's really hope so, right? So you guys all know my view on Kaspa now, the scenarios that could happen. If you guys are buying up, if you guys are believing in Kaspa, holding in Kaspa, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions at all, let me know. I will answer them. If you guys liked the video, make sure you like it up. Hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor. And I'll see everybody in the next video.